Hello there everybody, I'm back with another speed draw and with yet another welcome home character. This time I decided to draw Frank since last time when I did a speed draw of Wally I forgot to even list him as a neighbour, and I actually really like Frank. I think he's like, that way that he's actually meant to be. He's a perfectly contrast to everybody else's joyful happiness, especially Wally and Julie. So I thought it was fun to sort of have him have a quiet moment instead of like interacting with people or having a fun little photo taken. He's just kind of hanging out in a swing, making a butterfly, because I want Frank to be able to chill out and not have to constantly be upset. I mean, me too, but I think Frank's more likely to get that goal attained than I am, just a feeling I get recently. As I said recently, not being great feels, so it was just something that really brightened my mood. And because I also love butterflies and moths and the like, I was like, you can be meeting a little friend. I like him in Frank's designs by the websites Restore People. There's a lot of these, like, just this is completely black, which is something I put in my style all the time. He's like one of the only characters like that because of, his place in the sort of archetypes of the story. And playing the, I wouldn't say straight man since he's very reactive. I don't know what that one would be called. I am not skilled enough in media. I only did a course in high school I did a course in a college while I was at high school. It was a college level course, so I studied it a little bit in college. It's about as far as I can go, archetypes, hero's tale, tropes to the end of the islands and back. All those things are very basic, and I think most people who have been on YouTube have probably come across them and have a bit of an experience with them. So that's just kind of the thing I'm into, though. I think a lot of people who know a lot about tropes get kind of bored of them, but I'm quite a fan of them when they're used right, or when they're like subverted, but still basically being used. It's how the character is being presented to you. It's just not how you're meant to be taking the character in the long term. It's complicated. Oh, hello, Sweet Belle. My little cat came up to say hi and demands pets, but she does not realise that her parent is busy staring at a drawing they did like 2 days ago. So I've been planning on doing all the characters. I think by now I'm kind of committed to it. I really want to draw one of the girls next, but also I really want to draw Howdy Pillar. His like arm-leg situation's really cute, and he's such a sweet seeming character. Like, I've not read a lot about him, but I've looked at a lot of him and I like what I see. I'm sure I'll like what his personality is based on his interactions that I've seen from other characters. But Frank seems to be the most reactive to other characters, and that's kind of a great thing, and also a defining thing in a lot of these shows is having character like Bert I believe is a bit of a hard about things, that word that YouTube does not enjoy. And obviously I think a few of these characters are, they're become representatives of character types that are more popular in puppet shows like Sesame Street, or like Rolf and the Muppets, who's quite chill out, and then Barnaby is also big and chilled out. It has the similar ear shape and everything. Like, I loved those things growing up, so it's been so fun to see them being loved by other people who are like, oh yeah, I love that thing that like their parents showed to them in the early 90s and they completely forgot about for 20 years and stuff like that. Like, it's cute because obviously it's easy to remember like Miss Piggy and Fonzie and obviously Kermit, he's the mascot. But some of the other characters, if you've not been in the Jim Henson universe, they're just a little bit more unknown. Well, not unknown, just underknown. I don't know the right terms for any of these things. But yeah, I love that there's a clear love for a lot of source of like the inspiration. Like, it's not just like, oh, I like that idea and I want to make it evil. It's like they obviously enjoy a lot of the puppetry. Jim Henson, not exclusively Jim Henson though, because there was other people doing great stuff, and there's still other people doing absolutely fantastic stuff. And a lot of the time Jim Henson get them into collab on things. Like, I think another guy called Barnaby on YouTube, he ended up working on The Dark Crystal after showing a lot of appreciation for Jim Henson, and also having a YouTube filled with really cool what you call it, stop motion animations. I'll try and remember to link that below. But yeah, I love seeing that kind of culture getting a bit of love, because it's come in and out of popularity to like hate puppets and find them weird and creepy, you know, a bit like clowns, which I get in both cases. It's uncanny valley, not inhuman valley. And it is designed to be a little bit like, oh, that's weird, why is this different, what's up with that, on certain characters. But on a lot of like Muppety characters, it's just experimentation, so they're not meant to be creepy. Like, I don't feel bad about finding them creepy though. Like, just because something's not meant to be creepy doesn't mean it isn't. A spider is not meant to be creepy in nature, but it still makes me a little bit uncomfortable to think about them. I'm not going to even describe any further, just that, because I don't want to upset anybody else who has those kind of phobias. But yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, I have no judgment, but it also makes me a little sad because it's such a great medium for things. But no one has to interact with the medium just because it has a great work in it, because when they're uncomfortable, like, that's none of my business. You know, the same way that I can tell a lot of people may not want to be into Welcome Home if they're a bit queasy on things like blood and implied violence, which are things that it's absolutely fine to be upset about. I think people like really overestimate like how important it is to like not do something because you're scared. Like, it's really not a big deal. I do it like 50 times a day where I just don't do something because it's scary. But that's because I live with anxiety. Yeah, I really wanted Frank and the little butterfly to be like looking so happy to see each other, so they both got little sparkles in their eyes. Frank's only really looked happy around bugs in his Valentine's, but it was so cute, and I want him to be friends with bugs, so I'm making him friends with bugs in my rendition of him now. I don't you might not like them in reality, but in canon, but my fan in Frank, he loves a butterfly, adores them off, and is probably friends with like 13 caterpillars. He's great. Wait, did they have caterpillars? They must do if they have butterflies, but there is like a caterpillar person. I wonder if they also have dogs. I guess we'll probably never find out, because who really cares about that in a puppet show, even when it's for an ARG. Anyway, we're getting to the end of this one, and I really hope you enjoyed this rambling, venty video where Frank was being drawn in the background. Let me know if you have any like shows like this that you love, or ARGs that you'd like me to check out that I might be into, because I am a big fan of those. I'll blame that on the gorillas and their website for like 10 years. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next one. Bye!